I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. It is Friday night. We are heading into a weekend, and we have a lot to talk about. As number one, we've been tracking a few scattered showers here in our area. We'll take a closer look at some of those and when they're going to be dying out in just a bit. Plus, we have a lot to watch this weekend because we have a potential tropical system that is down south of the Bahamas that is most likely going to become a tropical storm over the weekend and then maybe a hurricane at the beginning of next week. And this system is aiming toward the southeastern coastline here of the Atlantic. So we have to watch that. And there's a lot of uncertainty with it right now. So I know you're probably seeing a lot of stuff on social media of different tracks that this is going to take. The real thing is we don't know exactly where it's going to go or how strong it is going to get right now, because there's an interesting scenario going on with it. Is there's also Hurricane Humberto out there, and those may interact a little bit and have some influence on each other. And that could hamper the strength of the future Imelda that is most likely going to be forming this weekend. And it also may kind of influence the track that the storm takes. So we'll break all that down for you coming up in just a little bit. But first, let's look at where we are seeing some of those showers and a few of those thunderstorms out there right now. In Metro Atlanta, we have a shower here that is developed on the north side, not too far off from Truist Park. Instead of being just outside the perimeter there at 75, this one is just inside the perimeter, not too far off from the Cumberland area, right over here, where we do have some pockets of heavy rain in association with that. We'll zoom in a little bit tighter here so you can see this. This is right over there at Mount Perrin Road, just inside the perimeter there on 75, where we just saw this really just develop here. We'll put this full screen so you can see it a little bit better. But we're seeing this really just developing where we have that pocket of heavy rain that is just really fired up right there, and that's what it is. It is just heavy rain. We don't see any lightning with it just yet, but it is possible that we can see some lightning developing with that here in just a little while too. Elsewhere around North Georgia, we've been watching these showers and storms. Look up here at Gainesville. If you were watching us earlier tonight, we were tracking some storms that were stationary over 985 in Hall County. That was at 6 o'clock tonight. Those showers stayed over the same place, just raining heavily over and over again there. And you see that through the evening hours, they finally broke up. But it dumped so much rain around, they did have a flash flood warning in effect that was supposed to be in effect until 10:15. Well, the National Weather Service canceled it right before 9 o'clock because we don't really see any threats of flooding there. But here, with that stationary storm that was over 985, this is how much rain it left. Now, these are our rainfall estimates there around Oakwood. In some spots in that red, 3 to 4 inches of rain fell. You can see here just to the west of Oakwood, about 3.6, 3.3 there just west of 985. And then the purple color surrounding it, just slightly lighter amounts. And then the blue color around that, around a ½ inch to 1, maybe in some spots even 2 inches of rain. So that was a lot of rain. We were keeping an eye out there for the potential for any low-lying areas to be collecting water, but now things are a little quieter there. We're not really concerned about really any flooding happening. In North Georgia, Northeast Georgia, a few isolated showers around in parts of White County, Habersham County, there on the Rabun County line. Also these in the southern parts of Union County. Again, just a few of these showers that have been developing. Now, these are not widespread at all, but the ones that we have been pretty heavy, and also some thunder and lightning. Now, the heaviest action is over on the west side, where you see out I-20 here, just past Douglasville, right at the Douglas and Carroll County line. These showers are heavy now with some thunder and lightning, as well as these that were coming out of Cleburne and Randolph County in Alabama, crossing over the state line over into Carroll County. We have these just north of Central Hatchie there in the northern parts of Heard County. And these are really heavy with some thunder and lightning with them as well. Let me zoom into both of those. Let's start into this one at Carrollton. Earlier, the National Weather Service put out a special weather statement on that, indicating some 40-mile-an-hour winds with it, with that heavy rain too, and also the thunder and lightning. There are some high school football games going on in those areas, so they're watching closely for any lightning with those, and of course that heavy rain too. And then this one that we zoomed into just a moment ago, this is along I-20, Villa Rica, here over toward Winston. That's just to the west of Douglasville, but really right along and just south of I-20. That's where that heaviest rain is happening right now. We've got a lightning strike right there at Villa Rica at this hour. So that's where the heaviest rain is going on right now, over to the west of us. Once that, it's not moving that much, it's just drifting over to the east, it'll pretty much rain itself out and calm itself down in just a little while. And then just a few other spotty showers around back in Alabama, as well as down to the south of us, and a little bit more over into parts of South Carolina. Here is a live look right now. This is our tower cam over at Arizona Avenue, looking toward the west and toward the city of Atlanta. Oh, and I just saw, look at that there at the top of the screen. Did y'all see that there? That is some of that lightning that we are seeing from that camera here in DeKalb County, east of the city, looking westward. And just up here, we saw, when I just took this camera, you can see some of the lightning there. That was from the distance, from those showers and a couple of those thunderstorms that are over well to the west in West Georgia. So it's really kind of cool to see that. We've got a great vantage point here from this tower. And then also, okay, there you saw some of it again. Watch right up here in the corner. Just keep an eye on that here. We'll see if we see any more of those kind of showing up here. But it's really cool, because also at night you can see lightning from a far distance, even all the way over almost to the Alabama line, where we were seeing just a little bit of that lightning there in those upper levels from this camera. So a really cool view that we are seeing here from this camera. Here is another very cool view that I think is really cool. Go Dogs, right? This is our view right now from our Athens camera. We have zoomed in really tight here to Sanford Stadium. They've got the red lights on in the stadium. It is going to be so cool tomorrow night. Alabama playing Georgia at Sanford Stadium, 7:30 game. It is going to be packed out with people. Not only does Sanford Stadium have the cool light show, of course, with these lights on, and they've got a great show, fireworks that go up from cannons there as well. But tomorrow night, they are going to have, for most everybody, I don't think they're going to have enough for all 93,000 people, but I think it might be for 65,000. The wrist lights, that when people go in, some people, not everybody, will be able to get the wristbands that have lights on them that are controlled by someone in the, someone controlling the lights out there. And when people are raising their hands and stuff, they can do different color lights on people's wrists, and that's going to be really cool to see. I gave my daughter and her boyfriend my tickets to the Alabama game, so we're going to go up to tailgate, and then we're going to leave tailgating to get home in time to watch it on TV. So I'm hoping I can at least see that cool lights there from television. So here's what we're expecting for the game. Now, if you're going to be tailgating, which I'm going to be doing there too, during the day, there's the potential, about a 20% chance for an isolated shower. If you get one of those showers, it won't last long. It's not like going to be a 3, 4, 5 hour rain or anything. It might be a brief shower that just disrupts things for a bit, and then it'll move out. For the game during the evening, I'm really thinking it's going to be dry. Temperatures generally there in the 70s. The potential for a stray shower early, but I think during the evening it's going to be just fine, with comfortable temperatures out there too. These night games, as we get later into the year, are kind of nice, especially after dealing with some of those earlier games when temperatures were in the 90s, sitting in the sun. So it's going to be kind of nice for that game there tomorrow night. 82 degrees was our high today in Atlanta. 72 is the low this morning, above the average. Now, at least today we were closer to average. Average high for this time of year is now 81. Of course, no rain at Hartsfield-Jackson today. Even though some folks outside the city are getting rain, we don't have any on our official rain bucket there, so we're about 3 3/4 inches below where we should be in rainfall for the year. You see those lows this morning in the 70s, the highs in the 80s this afternoon. Right now, we are at 75 here in Atlanta. Look at Gainesville, cooler at 68. 71 in Canton, Athens is 73, so pretty uniform temperatures all around, except for some of those 60s that we have. We're thinking in town tomorrow, we'll get down to around 67 degrees, and then up into the lower to some mid 80s in spots, right about 83 for a high tomorrow. Again, just that 20% chance for an isolated shower that could develop during the day. So here's what we're watching tonight. Some of those isolated showers now, those will be diminishing during the nighttime hours. Tomorrow morning will be dry here. A few clouds, maybe some fog in some areas, so just be aware of that if you're going to be out and about earlier. Sunshine breaking through here from those clouds going into the lunchtime hour. And here you see just a little bit of that green showing up. We're just saying a 20% chance for an isolated shower to develop on Saturday. Evening hours look nice. Overnight looks good. Sunday looks dry as well, as we are going to see mainly sunshine mixing in with just a few clouds during the day. Not concerned about any rain here Sunday. Monday is also going to be dry. We see a few more clouds, an easterly flow trying to set up here, but we're not really concerned about any rain on Monday. And then the forecast gets tricky after that because we have this potential tropical system that we're going to be watching, and we still don't have a lot of direction on it. Even though we have a new track on it, the confidence level in that specific track is on the low end right now. I'll show you that in just a second. 20% chance for a shower Saturday. No rain chances Sunday and Monday. Low rain chances Tuesday and also on Wednesday. Now here's a look at the rain comparison. Big differences in these models here. American model showing only 0.3 of an inch of rain over the next 7 days, where the European model is showing 2.6 inches of rain in Atlanta over the next 7 days. Why would these be so different? It's because the models are not in agreement on what this tropical system is going to do and if it's going to spread any rain to us, and if it does, how much rain it would spread into our area. So we're just looking at these as guidance right now. We have two tropical systems that we're watching right now. We've been telling you about Humberto all week. This is a Category 3 hurricane right now. I'll show you that track coming up in just a bit. This, though, is the next system that we have to watch. We're calling it potential tropical cyclone number 9. It is not a tropical depression yet. It is not a tropical storm yet. It doesn't have a name, but by classifying it as a PTC, that allows the National Weather Service to go ahead and issue some advisories ahead of it, as well as show us the cone of a potential track. So we do have these advisories in the Bahamas. I'll go over those for you in just a few minutes. But here is the track that we're watching with this potential tropical cyclone. If it does become a tropical storm, the name would be Imelda. So you see it moving slowly and having a hard time strengthening as it's going over the Bahamas. We do think that by Sunday, this is most likely going to get a name and become Tropical Storm Imelda, moving over the Bahamas, and then moving north and a little bit westward here. By Monday, potentially becoming a hurricane, still off the Florida coast, still as a hurricane Tuesday afternoon, and then maybe back to a tropical storm nearing land on Wednesday. But I have to tell you, this is just one track, the track that the National Hurricane Center has, but in looking at all the models, they are all differing right now as to where this storm is going to go. Here's a look at the spaghetti models. They are pretty consistent of it moving northward. Now, some of them actually have it falling apart, moving up toward the North Carolina coast or South Carolina coast during the day on Monday. Some of the models keep it kind of slow there. Then you can see the differences. Some models pull it away from the United States. That would be thanks to Humberto, which is a stronger hurricane that's going to be curving away. Humberto could pull it and make it move eastward away from the U.S. There is also an upper level low that's up to the Midwest and near Tennessee that could have an influence on it and actually pull it inland to make landfall. So that's why there is so much uncertainty with this forecast, because we just have to see how this storm develops. Sometimes when you have storms that are this close together, one storm could overtake the other one or rob the other storm of the energy, and usually the stronger storm is the one that would do that, and that's Humberto. So it's going to be really interesting to watch these two and how they interact and how one may influence the other, maybe influencing its strength or lack of strength that it may have, or maybe kind of influencing the direction that the Imelda would move into. So this is just a big look at the differences in those models, and they're not in agreement. So that's why we don't have a lot of confidence right now in our forecast for next week, because it all depends on what this system is going to do. And we just don't have a good handle on it yet until it develops and we get more data in from the models as to fine-tuning what that track is going to be. For now, we have some tropical storm warnings in effect for the southern Bahamas. Now, all of these islands that you see here, part of the Bahama Island chain, there's like 200 islands in the Bahamas. It's not just one island there. The northern Bahamas have a tropical storm watch in effect, and these will most likely get upgraded depending on how the storm interacts. So I know in going over that, I wish I could tell you that we know exactly where it's going, that we know exactly how strong it's going to be, and that we know exactly how we're going to be impacted here in Georgia or along the southeastern coastline, but we just don't know that yet. So let me break down for you what we know and what we don't know. So here's what we know so far. PTC-9 is most likely going to become Imelda. We think that'll happen on Sunday, becoming a tropical storm. It is likely going to be moving near the Carolina coast, the South Carolina coast. Then, does it actually make landfall, or does it get near the coast and then get pulled away? We just don't know that yet. We also know that the eastern Carolinas have more of a threat for some heavy rain that'll be pushing in there. And then also, we don't think we'll see any high winds in North Georgia, but it is potential that we could see some rain out of the system if it's pulled over toward the west. Now, here's what we don't know. We don't know the exact track and strength. Even though I just showed you a track from the National Hurricane Center, that track is going to be changing. That track is not set in stone, but that's just the best idea that we have for the system right now. Also, what we don't know is if we're even going to have any rain in Georgia, depending on the direction it goes. If the remnants come into Georgia, yeah, then it's going to bring us a better chance for some rain. We also don't know the exact timing or how much rain we would even get with this system too. So a lot of scenarios that we have to watch. Now, this is Humberto. It's a major hurricane, Cat 3. Okay, so here's Humberto. Here's PTC-9, which is what would be Imelda. So, they are kind of close, so we'll have to see how they interact with each other. This is how Humberto is going to develop and strengthen. Look at this, becoming a Cat 4 over the weekend, continuing to move up toward the north, and then curving away, most likely not a direct hit on Bermuda, but they'll be on the bad side of the storm, so they'll have some impacts there. But you see it curving away in the afternoon on Tuesday, then by Wednesday, well up to the north and pushing up to the north and east. So if what is going to be Imelda is right up here around Tuesday, and then Humberto is right there, when it pulls away, could it pull Imelda with it? That's just what some of the models are actually thinking. So let's go over both the European model and the GFS. I often don't like to show these. I don't like to put these on social media because people take one picture and run with it and share it and say, oh my gosh, look what's going to happen. I'm just showing you these here because these are the trends that we're seeing and also the differences that we're seeing in the model. So going through Saturday, we have that low rain chance here. Sunday, not worried about rain here. But here's what we're watching, all right? This is what would be some of that heavier rain in association with what is going to be Tropical Storm Imelda. So this is Monday in the afternoon. This is going into Tuesday. The European, is showing a potential landfall there in South Carolina, or maybe close to a landfall in South Carolina. And then it kind of sits and spins for a while on Wednesday. If that happens, if it turns stationary and doesn't move and it just spins all that rain in there, they're going to have some big time rain over along the eastern South Carolina and North Carolina too, and maybe some flooding there. So you don't like for a storm to kind of sit and spin, and then it starts maybe trying to send some moisture over into East Georgia on Thursday. And a lot of that moisture may or may not make it to Atlanta. More of that heavy rain Thursday and Friday up into eastern North Carolina. So that would be one scenario. The GFS model was showing it kind of getting close to land and lingering there around the area as well. So we have a lot to watch with this system. Our 7-day forecast that I'm showing you right now is going to be highly dependent on what happens with what is going to become Imelda. So on Saturday, you can see here, we have clouds, maybe some fog in the morning, and then decreasing clouds in the afternoon. Sunday, partly cloudy and highs near 84. Monday, partly cloudy and 82 degrees with mainly dry conditions. It is after that when there's a big question mark. It all depends on what Imelda is going to do. This is based on what we're seeing right now. Low rain chances Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, clearing out Friday with cooler temperatures coming in. But remember, if the remnants of Imelda are pulled westward, inland, and toward us, we'll have to increase our rain chances. If Humberto pulls Imelda out into the Pacific, we may not have any rain at all, and we'll have to take those rain chances out. So just be patient with us as we go through the next few days here, tracking this system. Hopefully, we're going to be able to fine-tune this a little bit more as those models start coming together. And really, Imelda hasn't even formed yet. So once it forms, we'll get a better handle on it as well. So thanks for joining us for this extended weather update here on 11 Alive Plus and Weather Impact 24/7. We are also going to have another update for you tonight at 11 o'clock on 11 Alive News at 11. I'll have a new track in at 11 o'clock on Imelda, so be sure to tune in for that. And we're also going to have other updates, a lot of updates for you as we go through the weekend here as well. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a great weekend.